Hello everyone, I'm Geek Freak and welcome to the video. Man oh man, the granola arc is really coming along nicely. The fact that Goku had to go Super Saiyan God and then put his Ultra Instinct on top of that is just absolutely insane. I mean, the Ultra Instinct is amplifying his Super Saiyan God form. I mean, that is just absolutely mental. And saying that, oh yeah, by the way, spoilers, Goku defeated a clone of Granola. Now, here's the thing, Granola used the Cerulean Dragon Balls to summon the dragon, and he wished on that dragon to be the most powerful being in the universe. And even after the clone was defeated, that clone had a portion of Granola's power, and we have yet to see Granola's full power in a desperate fight. You know, something similar to when Goku and Frieza was fighting on Namek. So that'll be something to look forward to see. You know, seeing Granola at his full power, use his absolute full power. Or, who knows, maybe there might be another character out there that's going to be even more powerful than Granola. It could be Frieza, it could be the Eaters, I mean, who knows? But I definitely think that the Eaters are going to play a big part, and maybe be even more powerful than Granola. But again, who knows? Now let's just say, for example, that the Granola arc has ended. What will happen after the Granola arc? Who will be the next big bad after the Granola arc? Because remember, Granola wished to be the most powerful being in the universe at that time. So, where exactly do you go from there? Even if there was some other characters in the universe of Universe 7 that was even more powerful than Moro, it's thanks to Granola's wish that he became the most powerful being in the universe, so he must have surpassed other characters that was much more powerful than Moro. So let's just say, for example, that Goku defeated Granola. Goku would be able to defeat the characters that were even much more powerful than Moro, but much more weaker than Granola. Goku will be able to defeat them easily. And that's the thing, where do you go after Granola? Because Granola did say that he wished to be the most powerful being in the universe. So at this point in time, Granola is the most powerful being in the universe. And you know what, it's debatable if he's much more powerful than Beerus or Whis, but we'll have to wait and see. I doubt it, but you know what, who knows. But again, where do you go after Granola? Because again, he did wish for to be the most powerful being in the universe. So I guess we can safely say that there's no other powerful beings in Universe 7 that's much more powerful than Granola at this point in time in the story. So, where do you go from there? And that's exactly why I made this video. Where do you go after Granola that is the most powerful being in Universe 7? Arguably is the most powerful being in Universe 7. Well, I had a few ideas, and I'm going to put these ideas in a list. And no, it's not going to be a top 10 list, where at number 1 is going to be the absolute best. These are just a list of ideas of what they could do after the Granola saga. Now in this list, I'm going to go from ideas of characters that could be stronger than Granola, from weakest to strongest. Now if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, think of this list like the first time we meet Goku all the way to the end of Dragon Ball Z. Each villain being stronger than the last. You know, like Pilaf, the Red Ribbon Army, King Piccolo, the Saiyans, Frieza, that sort of thing. So, with all said and done, let's resume with the list. And number 1 is the mystery of the wizards. Now it seems to me that the Supreme Kais have some sort of relationship with wizards like Bibbidi, Bobbidi and Moro. I mean, we know more or less where the Supreme Kais come from. You know, the Compass Supreme Kais, then the Grand Supreme Kai, and then you've got the Supreme Kais, and then you've got the Grand Supreme Kai. That in itself had a sort of mystery to it. Like, what is the Supreme Kais? Who's the most powerful? Who's the most respected? Oh, and I also got the Supreme Kai of Time. Okay, here's another example. You know when we first met King Piccolo, and we've known him from his first appearance, like when he was trying to find the Dragon Balls, when he defeated Goku, and then when Goku came back, and then King Piccolo was defeated by Goku, and then we learn about Kami and the Dragon Balls, and then we learn later that Piccolo isn't a demon, he's a Namekian, and we learn that Kami and Piccolo was once one being, and why he was sent to Earth. We basically know everything about Piccolo, but what do we know about wizards? Again, there's Bibbidi, and then there's Bobbidi, and there's Moro. And my question is this, where did Bobbidi come from? Where did Moro come from? Where do they learn their magic? If they are both wizards, do Bobbidi and Moro know each other? Did they learn their magic from the same place, or was they born with magic? Where do wizards come from? We know the mythos of Kami and Piccolo, we know the mythos of the Supreme Kais and the Kais and so on, and we know the mythos and the lore of the Saiyans, you know, stuff like that. But what about the wizards? Where did they come from? Because I mean, come on, there's been 2 wizards, which was Bobbidi and Moro, who has been fighting the Supreme Kais. And it can't be no coincidence that there were just 2 wizards. I mean, yeah, sure, don't get me wrong. I mean, Bobbidi was a weakling compared to Moro. Yeah, Bobbidi had Majin Buu, but Moro is like infinitely much more powerful than Majin Buu. And yes, I did say that Moro is the most powerful being in Universe 7, but that doesn't mean that wizards can't be crafty. I mean, we've already had science, you know, with the androids and with Cell. Science, more or less, I don't think can keep up with the power that Goku has now. So I think the next best thing is magic. And yes, I know we've had Moro because he's a magic user, but I want to know if there's any more magic users out there, how the wizards are intertwined with the Supreme Kais, you know, all that stuff. Or was Bobbidi and Moro a one-off? So yeah, I would like to learn more about the mythos and the lore of the wizards in Dragon Ball Super. I mean, magic doesn't need to be about power, it could be about, you know, tricking your opponents, using powerful spells to suppress your opponent's power, you know, all sorts of stuff. I mean, science can only go so far, but magic can go in all different directions. What I'm trying to say is I want to know the lore and the mythos of the wizards in this series. Again, are there more wizards out there? Did Bobbidi and Moro know each other? Where did magic come from? I know this one's the weakest to put on this list, but you know what, at least it's something. And with that said, let's move on to the next one. Now the next one I think is going to be an obvious one. Now again, I know that Moro wished to be the most powerful being in the universe. That means he surpassed everybody throughout the known universe. But does that count for the afterlife? Does that wish reach over to the afterlife, or is it just in the universe? Like the living universe? Because if it's only the living universe, then there could be a chance of a villain coming from the afterlife. Like Janemba. Now listen, I'm not saying that I want Janemba to come back, even though that would be cool. In fact, Janemba is a badass villain. The problem is, his personality is exactly like Buu's. Now, let's talk about Janemba. What can he do? Well, he's powerful. He brings absolute chaos to living and the dead. The dead goes back to the living world and causes chaos in the realm of the living. And you know what? That is an awesome idea. Again, I'm not saying that Janemba should just come back. All I'm saying is there could be other powerful beings in the realm of the dead. It could be in hell, it could be in a personal prison where they keep the most powerful resident of hell. Or you could have an accident like Janemba. For me, I just love the idea that the dead would just come back to life and there's like an afterlife villain. I mean, besides from Princess Snake, who was on Snake Y, and Janemba, that's from one of the old Dragon Ball Z movies. What I'm trying to say is, there is room for villains to come out of the afterlife. Again, there could be a villain that died like millions upon millions of years ago, and he refuses to move on. Something similar to Frieza. Or again, an accident like Janemba. Or there could be residents in the afterlife that's looking for a challenge from the realm of the living. Something similar from the royal houses from Bleach. There are some really good ideas for an afterlife villain. I've always loved the idea of an afterlife villain. I mean, come on, that's probably the next best thing after the Granola arc. I mean, come on. We've done the realm of the living, so it's time to do the realm of the dead. Or you could have an army of the dead. I mean, who knows? This is possibly my favourite idea of where the next villain could come from. So yeah, let's move on to number 3. And number 3 is something I think that Akira Toriyama, Toyotaro should look into. And that thing is the other 12 universes. I mean, come on. Come on, this is a no-brainer. There are infinite possibilities of what they could do with the other 12 universes. I mean, just think about it. Granola said he wanted to be the most powerful being in the universe, but that doesn't mean that wish extended to the other universes. So that would be another good idea. Not to mention the counterparts of what universe that Universe 6 has. I mean, just think about it. There was Frieza's counterpart Frost, there was the Saiyans, the Namekians, and Chomper and Beerus are similar. In fact, they're brothers for crying out loud. I mean, who's to say there isn't a moral equivalency in that universe? Or a Majin Buu in that universe? Hell, there could be other Majin Buus in other universes. Well, I mean, an equivalency to the Majin Buu that's in Universe 7, that's in other universes. Now, excluding the Gods of Destruction and the Angels, what else could there be in these other universes? Again, there could be a moral equivalency in Universe 6. There could be a villain in Jiren's universe that's even much more powerful than him, that he hasn't been able to defeat just yet. I mean, there could be so much more in the 8 universes that was in the Tournament of Power that has a possible next big bad. Well, 7 universes, because Universe 7 doesn't count. I mean, yeah, all those other characters that was in the Tournament of Power may or may not have been the most powerful beings there. But how do we know there isn't a villain that's in their universes that was either sealed away, or there's a villain that's being created, something like Cell, Maybe something like Cell, but not really. Or, just like my previous idea, maybe there's a dead villain in the Afterlife, but he's sealed away. Or maybe there was a character that was even much more powerful than Jiren in those other universes, but he decided not to participate in the Tournament of Power. Or there could be a much more powerful Majin Buu equivalency to our Majin Buu. Because remember, it was said that Majin Buu was born alongside the universe. So who's to say that there isn't other Majin Buus out there? I mean, for all we know, our Majin Buu equivalency in these other universes might actually be very, very smart, and is slowly but surely absorbing other people so he can get much more powerful. Something similar to Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Multiverse. These 7 universes that was defeated by Universe 7 might have a few villains that needs to be defeated. But I'm still not done. What about the 4 universes that was at the Tournament of Power, but they didn't participate into the Tournament of Power? And their Supreme Kais, Gods of Destruction, and Angels just watched. And those universes are Universe 1, 5, 8, and 12. Now these universes, we have never seen their most powerful fighters in their universes. And also, we don't know what their universes are like. Well, I mean, considering they've got the highest mortal rate, which I think has the most mortals in it, and the best quality in that universe, maybe? But hey, there might be villains in those 4 universes that's even more powerful than Granola. So we haven't seen their fighters, and we don't know if there's a villain that's even much more powerful than Granola in those other 4 universes. Or, what about those other 6 universes? Yeah, originally there was 18 universes, but Zerno erased 6 of them because he was in a bad mood. I mean, they could do something with this as well. Like, what if there was like this really big, massive, big bat that was consuming these other 6 universes, and then Zerno had no choice but to erase these universes? Or, maybe, there were some extremely powerful fighters in those other 6 universes. What I'm trying to get at is, they need to explore other universes instead of staying in Universe 7. And remember, Granola said that he wished to be the most powerful being in the universe, which only includes Universe 7 that he's in. That doesn't count for other universes. So there's bound to be something out there that's much more powerful than Granola in other universes. So that's something to think about. And with that said, let's move on to the next one. And the next one I thought would be interesting because in the manga it was stated by Belmod, the God of Destruction from Universe 11, that it was a demon who killed Jiren's old master, and anybody who is killed by a demon cannot be wished back. And for Jiren to be as powerful as he is, this demon that killed Jiren's master must be extremely powerful. Now, where do demons come from? Well, you guys have seen the map of the universe, right? Well, right at the bottom at the tip, well, that's where the demon realm is. That place is the home of Deborah, alongside many more demons. Now, we all know Deborah. It was stated that he was on par with a super perfect cell, and he was the king of the demon realm, so that must mean that he was the most powerful being in his realm. Well, supposedly. I mean, for all we know, there could be demons in the demon realm who is either hibernating or is dead, and is much more powerful than Deborah, like Demigra, and alongside other characters. If you play Dragon Ball Xenoverse or Dragon Ball Heroes, you guys will know what I'm talking about. I mean, for all we know, there could be a plethora of demons down there. But here's the thing, that is only one tip where all the Universe 7 demons are. But what about other demon realms in other universes? I mean, who's to say that there isn't much more powerful demons in other universes? Like, what about that demon that killed Jiren's master? Or what about the demons in other universes? Who's to say that there isn't a Deborah counterpart in Universe 6? Or a Demigra counterpart? Or hell, here's an idea, what if all the demons from all these different universes came together and they decided to become one being that was so powerful that Zeno was even scared of it? But you know what, to be fair, I haven't got around to finishing the Xenoverse games, and I haven't played Heroes or anything like that that involves demons. The only demons that I know is either from Deborah or I saw on YouTube Demigra and a few others. But you know what, just like the wizards like Bobbidi, Bibbidi and Moro, I think they should explore the lore, the mythos of the demons. And not just in Universe 7, but in other universes in general. Again, we know a lot about the Saiyans, we know a lot about the Namekians, the Kais, the Gods of Destruction, and the Angels and their mythos. Well, I wouldn't mind having a little bit more with the Angels and the Gods of Destruction, but you know, that's just me. But I would like to know more about the demons, like when do they first come into being? Why are demons created in the first place? What is the purpose of the demons? What is the most powerful demon in all of the universes? There are just so many questions that we don't know about the demons. So I think that's definitely a path that Akira Toriyama should take. Give us more about the demons, tell us their mythos, tell us their lore, you know, that stuff. and give us an extremely powerful demon. Maybe they could be somewhere around as powerful as a god of destruction or an angel, maybe. And speaking of gods of destruction and angels, let's move on to the next one. And I think the next one is going to be pretty damn fun. What if the next big bad is either a god of destruction or an angel? Now, I know for a fact that Goku has to overcome Beerus, and I think an evil god of destruction would be a little bit redundant and unneeded, because I highly doubt angels would approve of gods of destruction being evil. Now, let me back up for a second. Now, we know that we had Zerno, who is a Supreme Kai, and he swapped his mind with Goku, and then he went to his future self and he fused with himself, so now he's half Supreme Kai and half Saiyan. But the thought of a Supreme Kai becoming evil is actually a really good idea, because it's going up in the hierarchy. So, what comes after a Supreme Kai? Well, there's the Grand Supreme Kai, then the Supreme Kai of Time, then the Gods of Destruction, then the Angels. Again, even though I think having a God of Destruction as the next big bad is sort of like, kind of unneeded, because Goku's still got to overcome Beerus. But what about an evil angel? Or maybe not evil, but maybe an antagonist? Well, let me give you guys an example. There's this fan manga called The Entire Universe 13 arc, and the antagonist of the story is called Zerno, and he's an angel. And I've seen 2 long videos made by Unreal Gaming, and he's narrated this fan manga on YouTube. I've seen 2 long videos of this, and I'm not gonna lie, Zerno is so freaking awesome. I haven't seen the full story yet, but I really need to get around to it. Anyways, this angel, Zerno, wants to get revenge on his father, which is the Grand Priest, because the Grand Priest decided to follow Zeno's orders, and the Grand Priest allowed Zerno to destroy Universe 13 with his son in it. I mean, this fan manga isn't part of the main story of Dragon Ball Super, but it's a fan-made thing. Anyways, Zerno wants to get revenge on his father, the Grand Priest, for leaving him for dead, and also he wants to kill Zeno, so no other universes will be destroyed. So yeah, Zerno has a 8-boner for Zeno for destroying his universe. And you know what? I really do love this idea. I mean, yes, I know Goku has to defeat Beerus, because that's the next best thing. Goku trying to defeat Beerus. But what comes after that? An angel. And you know what? That in itself is a great idea. An antagonist angel. I mean, think about it. The angels are always in their Ultra Instinct forms, and they're the ones who have to train the gods of destruction. So going from a Supreme Kai to a god of destruction, and then an angel, which at this point in time in the manga, and at the time of this recording, there has been no god of destruction or angel that has been defeated by Goku. So I think that would be the next best thing. A god of destruction, but I mean, Beerus can fill that role. And then an angel. Also, I recommend you guys go and check out Unreal Gaming's video of him narrating the fan-made manga, The Entire Universe 13 arc, because this is exactly what Akira Toriyama should do. Have a villain, someone like Zerno, an angel. And you know what, I'm not gonna lie, Zerno is fan-friggin-tastic. And yes, I know this is just a fan manga, but having an angel as an antagonist is a really good idea. I mean, come on, that's like the next best thing after the Gods of Destruction and below the Grand Priest. So yeah, I definitely think that an angel should be the next big bad. And so, let's move on to the next one. Now the next one I've already said, but I think I'll say it again. Goku's rematch with Beerus. I mean, come on, the first time we see Goku versus Beerus was way back at the beginning of the series of Dragon Ball Super, and throughout the series, Beerus doesn't seem concerned that Goku slowly but surely is creeping up on Beerus in terms of power. I mean, think about it, when has Beerus ever been concerned about Goku's power? I mean, yeah, Beerus has been surprised there and there, but Beerus has never ever shown any concern and thought, you know what, Goku is getting much more powerful, he's almost at my maximum power, maybe I should train a little bit. I mean, come on, this is a rematch that's well overdue. I mean, it's got to happen sooner or later. And yes, I know that the Gods of Destruction are weaker than the Angels, but this is Beerus we're talking about. And I'm not saying that Beerus is much more powerful than an angel, I mean, far from it. Whis can easily kick Beerus' ass. And to be fair, I think Beerus should have came first before I started talking about evil Gods of Destruction and evil angels. Yeah, that was my mistake. But Beerus is one of the most lovable characters in the series, and I doubt that anybody wants to see Beerus lose. So I think the most powerful thing Beerus has going for him is the plot armor. Again, I'm not saying that Beerus is much more powerful than an angel, I mean, far from it. It's just that Beerus has fans. So yeah, we're still waiting for that rematch with Beerus versus Goku. And so with that said, let's move on to the next one. And the next one is a really big one. I want the Supreme Kai of Time and all time related stuff to be introduced in the series. And yes, I know we've had Future Trunks come back twice, and we've been told that, oh, mortals aren't meant to mess with time, otherwise it'll destroy the universe. And you know what? I think that's a perfect idea. Like I said about the wizards and the demons, that we should get more lore and mythology on where they came from. I think we should learn more about the Supreme Card of Time and how time works. And yes, I know, we've got the Zerno games for that. But if we are told by Beerus and Whis that messing around with time will destroy the universe, then they should bring in the Supreme Card of Time, and she should come in and explain to Goku why mortals can't mess with time. And not just that, I think future Trunks and Mai should be the ones to go and live with Supreme Kai of Time so he can pay for his crimes of tampering with time. Because you know what, I think future Trunks and future Mai should go and live there. It is a lot better than living in another time where they already exist. And then that way, the Zerno games will take place within Dragon Ball Super. Well, not exactly, but more or less, the Zerno games will be officially be part of the Dragon Ball canon. The Supreme Card Time will be canon, and the Time Warriors will be canon. For me, I think Trunks working for the Supreme Card Time is a good idea. But yeah, I'm going off track. I mean, yeah, there was Demigra and other characters that was in the video games, so those guys could be an antagonist, because you know, those guys were like messing around with time anyways. Or, here's a better idea, what if Goku either went back to the past or went into the far future to face off against an enemy even much more powerful than him? And again, it can be either from the past or the future. And I'm talking about like in the far past or the far future, where he meets an ancient evil from the past, or you can meet his descendants in the far future, where they're trying to beat somebody that Goku has never fought before. Or maybe there's a villain that was so powerful that they had no choice but to trap him in a time dimension, and somehow he gets free and Goku has to go and fight him. You can do so much with this, especially if Goku goes back into the past where he meets an ancient evil, or he goes into the far future where he meets a future villain. There is so much you can do here, but that's all up to Akira Toriyama. So I think introducing the Supreme Card of Time is a good idea. Again, you can do so much with this. And so, let's move on to the next one. And the next one is Zerno, the Grand Priest, and the creator of the Dragon Balls, Zalama, and two others. Okay, to start off with, it was stated by Whis that the Grand Priest is one of the top 5 fighters in all of the universes. But the thing is, we don't know if the creator of the Super Dragon Balls, Zalama, is one of them, or if Zerno is one of them. I would like to know who these other 2 fighters are. Maybe it could be Zeno's 2 attendants. So that would make sense if you think about it. I mean, if you're the bodyguard of the most powerful being in the universe, or the most important being in the universe, then you'd have to be pretty damn strong in order to take up the job. So yeah, if you really do think about it, this does make sense. But you know, this is just my best guess. Maybe some of these guys aren't the top 5 most powerful fighters in all of the universes. Maybe Zeno's 2 attendants aren't in the top 5. And also, if you guys really think about it, why does Zeno need to have bodyguards or attendants anyways, if he's the most powerful being in the universe? But you know what, who knows? But as far as we know, at this moment in time in the series, these 5 may be the most powerful beings in all of the universes. Maybe, as far as we know, or I could be wrong. Maybe the Grand Minister or the Grand Priest is one of the top 5 fighters, and the other 4 are just a mystery. And as for Zalama, the creator of the Super Dragon Balls, I mean, come on, you have to be pretty goddamn powerful in order to have a dragon that big and can grant you any wish you want. Because remember, the dragon can't succeed the power of its creator, but the Super Dragon can grant you any wish you want. So I'm sure that the creator of the Dragon Balls is possibly an omnipresent, all-powerful god. I mean, who knows? And also, we still need to see the creator of the Dragon Balls. Yeah, we've seen the Grand Priest and we've seen Zeno and we've seen his 2 attendants, but what about the creator of the Dragon Balls? So yeah, Goku's gonna have to really, and I mean really, up his training if he wants to surpass the Grand Priest, the 2 attendants, Zeno and Zalama, or it could be for the people in general. Again, who knows? But at this point in time, these 5 are possibly the most powerful beings in all of the universes. Maybe. Now, we've got 2 more on this list. So, where would you go from here? What could be much more powerful than the Grand Minister, Zeno, his 2 attendants, and Zalama? Where do you go from here? And that answer came from the Broly movie. Now, I said they should do the Afterlife, other universes, the Demon Realm, going through time with the Supreme Card of Time, and then you have the top 5 fighters in all of the universes. So, where exactly do you go from here? And the answer came to us in the Broly movie and the Buu Saga. In the Buu Saga, when Super Buu got so angry, he was blasting holes through dimensions. And then there was the Broly movie where Gogeta and Broly was fighting in another dimension. And yes, you guys know where I'm going with this. And that thing is going to other dimensions. Now, there are loads, I mean loads of things you can do with this. Like, you could take the Rick and Morty route, where you could find a parallel universe where Goku's the bad guy and Frieza and the demons and Moro and so on are all good guys, and Goku in that dimension is evil. And yes, I know we've had evil Goku in the past. All I'm just saying is that in itself is a possibility. Or maybe Goku can go to a dimension where Superman exists or Saitama exists. And yes, I know these are copyrighted characters and the studio wouldn't be able to get these characters, but it's just an example. Or maybe Goku accidentally rips open a pocket dimension where a villain was imprisoned, and it's up to Goku and the gang to stop this creature from another dimension. Or maybe they can go to dimensions like what the Teen Titans from Teen Titans Go did in the movie, where they have all different versions of themselves. And let's not forget, these are other dimensions, and these dimensions aren't governed by Zerno. I mean, who knows, maybe there's other Zernos in other dimensions looking after their dimensions and their universes. Or maybe the creator of the Dragon Ball universe is in a pocket dimension all by himself creating the story, and the creator is the Toribot. I mean, come on, that would be fun. Like I said, you can do so much with this. Here's another example. Dragon Ball Super Goku could actually meet up with GT Goku, where GT Goku's got a Super Saiyan 4, or Goku could meet Zeno Goku, or they could go to dimensions where the original Dragon Ball movie villains exist, like Cooler, Original Broly, Dr. Wheelo, Arudagon, Janemba. Or maybe Goku can go to the Dragon Ball Heroes dimension. Or maybe they could go to a dimension where Goku is the legendary Super Saiyan, like he has Broly's power, and our Goku fights that Goku. Or a dimension where they meet Fu from Dragon Ball Heroes or Demigra. Like I said, there are loads and loads and loads and loads of possibilities of what they could do here. This is going to other dimensions where you can find infinitely more powerful characters or fighters or villains or whatever. And who knows, maybe they might have a universal dimension tournament or something. Now, if you're a nerd and if you know the basics of dimension hopping, you know that there are infinite possibilities of what they could do here. Different versions of yourselves, a dimension where everything is just pizza, a dimension where there's the most powerful fighter in all of existence, a dimension where you get to meet copyrighted characters. Again, there are loads, and I mean loads of possibilities of what they could do here. Like, what if there was a dimension where Cell got the DNA of absolutely everybody in all of the multiverse? Like I said, there are infinite possibilities of what they could do here. So yeah, that's something to think about. Let's move on to the next one. Now, at this point in time in the video, you're probably thinking, okay, where can Goku go from here? What would be the next big bad after this? Because after dimension hopping and going through time and going to the demon realm and defeating Zeno and the Grand Priest and so on, where do you go from here? And that's a simple one. Goku fights himself. Goku goes toe to toe with himself. And I'm not talking about, oh, there's an evil Goku and he's got to try and stop him, or oh, he's just having a spar with his GT counterpart, or, you know, or anything like that. After going through all these enemies, after beating all these enemies that have like unlimited power, then what? Goku would be the most powerful being in all of existence in Dragon Ball. So, where do you go from here? And you know that old saying where people say, oh, it's Gohan versus himself with Cell? Well, what if the Grand Priest or the Super Dragon Balls made an exact copy of Goku? You know, same power, same techniques, abilities, all the transformations. He would be an exact mirror of Goku, power and all. And Goku literally has to beat himself in order to be the best of the best. And what could be more exciting than that? Goku's facing off against a version of himself. Well, not a version of himself, but he's facing off literally against himself. And he's got to try and figure out how he would defeat himself. And whatever this mirror version of him is thinking about, he has to try and figure out how he would combat the mirror version of himself. But then the mirror version of himself would think, aha, I knew you was going to do that. And Goku said, yes, that's why I did this instead. And then the mirror version says, yes, but I've got this. Goku literally has to figure out how to outsmart himself. This would be Goku's ultimate challenge. Goku is literally facing off the very person who has defeated all the people in the past with everything that he's learned throughout his life. Well, he didn't defeat all the villains and he had help, but that's beside the point. Goku is much more powerful than the past villains that he's fought in the past. And Goku facing off against himself would be the ultimate challenge for Goku. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is the ultimate challenge for Goku? Because if you ask me, I think so. And that's basically it. These are the last things that I can think of that Goku can go to. The Afterlife, or the universes, the Supreme Core of Time, or the dimensions, etc. These are all the things that Goku can go to after Granola, especially after the Granola arc. considering that Granola is the most powerful being in Universe 7. These are just my ideas, and even though there are characters out there that I would love to see Goku fight, you know, like Cooler, Janemba, the Tuffle's Return, and all that stuff, but I think Granola's wish of him being the most powerful being in all of Universe 7 confirms there is no other character that's even more powerful than Granola, besides from Beerus and Whis. So I definitely think that going to all these other places would give us a chance of exploring these other places and seeing different fighters and, you know, the myths and the lore. All these other places are exciting and new. So yeah, all these things that I've mentioned on this list are definitely worth Goku's time of exploring all these places. So let me ask you guys something. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Where would you like to see Goku go next? The afterlife, other dimensions, another time, facing off against Beerus? Or do you guys have other ideas? Because if you have any other ideas, please let me know in the comment section below. Because I am definitely 100% open to new ideas. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm Geek Freak. Peace out. Thank you guys for watching. And if there's a series you want me to check out and review and give my thoughts on it, or if there's a top 10 list you want me to do, or any reactions, or responses, or rants on anything geeky, just leave links and comments in the comment sections below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Don't forget to like, subscribe, put the bell on, share this video, and leave a comment in the comment sections below. And as for my social medias, I'm literally freaking everywhere! I'm on most video platforms, social medias, forums, and support sites. It's best to pause the video and see where I am. Literally all this is down in the description box below. So if you want to go and check those out, please do. I'm Geek Freak. Peace out.